Now in this new video, we find integration of some functions as per the definition of a Riemann sum. Riemann sum. Now remember the definition of a Riemann sum. What is the Riemann sum? SPF. SPF. It has a specific symbol as per the book of Real Analysis by S.C. Malik and Savita Arora. This is summation of f of ti into delta xi. I is equal to 1 to n. So these are the symbols which we have chosen for the to denote a Riemann sum. Here we have to compute this f of ti into delta xi, then go for limit mu of p tends to 0. So we first take the partition x0. X0 is equal to 1, x1, x2 dash dash dash, xn equal to 2. This is my partition, that is this is let. Okay, and we divide the closed interval 1 comma 2 into n equal parts, n equal parts, each of length n, each of length 2 minus n equal parts. So length of each interval is 1 by n, that is maximum length of this interval is 1 by n, and you can see that this tends to 0 as n tends to infinity. Okay, then here you can see that this point xi, we choose this xi is equal to 1 plus I divided by n, for I is equal to 1 to n, right? And here xi is equal to 1 plus I divided by n. This is the point we have taken from each interval, each sub interval, and you can see that the length of this delta xi, length of each sub interval is 1 by n, maximum length is 1 by n, so delta xi is also 1 by n. Now this ti belongs to delta xi, therefore consider this as ti is equal to xi for definiteness. That means what is my t1? T1 is equal to 1 plus 1 by n. What is my t2? T2 equal to 1 plus 2 divided by n. What is my tn? Finally, what is my tn? Tn is equal to 1 plus n divided by n, right? So likewise we are choosing these points. Now let us calculate this SPF. SPF equal to summation of f of ti into delta xi, but this is I is equal to 1 to n. Instead of ti we are choosing xi, so here we take I is equal to 1 to n f of xi into delta xi. But what is f of x? F of x is 3x plus 1. So this is summation of 3xi plus 1 into delta xi. I varies from 1 to n, right? This is equal to summation I varies from 1 to n, 3 into, but what is xi again? What is my xi? Xi is 1 plus I divided by n plus 1 into delta xi, Now we multiply this summation I is equal to 1 to n, 3 plus 3 I divided by n plus 1 into delta xi equal to summation I is equal to 1 to n, 4 plus 3 I divided by n into delta xi. Separation gives us 4 into summation I is equal to 1 to n delta xi plus 3 constant, 3 summation I is equal to 1 to n I divided by n into Length of delta xi is 1 divided by n. So we have substituted here 1 divided by n into, you can see that 4, but total sum of this delta xi is total length of the interval, and total length of this interval is 1 plus, you can take 3 divided by n square common, summation of I is equal to 1 to n. Okay, so what we get, 4 plus 3 divided by n square into 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus n. Then 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus n means we have a standard formula of this summation is equal to, so SPF we get now 4 plus 3 divided by n square into n plus 1 divided by 2. N square get cancel, 4 plus 3 divided by 2 into 1 plus 1 by n. We have n square here, so we have divided this n plus 1 by n plus n divided by n 1 and 1 divided by n. Let us take the limit of this, limit of SPF. Mu of p tends to 0. When we get, that is n tends to infinity. So limit of this, limit n tends to infinity of 4 plus 3 divided by 2 into 1 plus 1 by n equal to this is here 4 plus, you can see that 3 divided by 2, and this will be 0, 1 by n tends to 0, and here you can see 4 plus 2, 4 into 2, 8, 8 plus 3, 11, 11 divided by 2, and therefore finally we get that integration of f of x between the limit 1 to 2 equal to 11 divided by 2. So let us take one more example. Suppose that we need to find the integration of f of x between the limit -1 to 1, where f of x equal to mod x, and we know that this has a two values. This is a minus x for x less than equal to 0 and x when x greater than 0, positive values. Now let us consider the partition P as start from -1, which is x0, and we take xn is equal to 0, and at the same time we take this as a y0, y1 and yn is equal to 1. So this interval we have divided into two parts, -1 to 0 and 0 to 1. This parts divided into xi, and this part is divided into yi. We divide -1 to 1 into 2n equal parts, 2n equal parts, and therefore each of length means this is n parts, this n parts and this n parts, 2n equal parts, that is 1 upper limit minus -1 divided by 2n, each of length equal to, this is our total. So 2 divided by 2n is equal to 1 by n, and obviously you can see that up this maximum length is 1 divided by n, which tends to 0 as n tends to infinity. Now we choose, you can see that here xi is equal to -1 plus I divided by n, and yi is equal to I divided by n for I is equal to 1 to n. These are our points, choice of points, that is ti is equal to xi and ti dash is equal to yi. So this is my points in the subinterval between -1 to 0, that is ti, and delta xi, you can see that each of length is 1 by n, and this is nothing but also yi, delta yi. Then this SPF is divided into two parts. I is equal to 1 to n f of ti into delta xi plus summation of f of ti dash into delta yi. I is equal to 1 to n. But here you can see that what is f of xi? Summation of f of ti is equal to xi. I is equal to 1 to n delta xi plus summation I is equal to 1 to n f of ti, that is yi into delta yi, equal to xi. Xi f of xi, this is for minus 1 to 0, x are less than 0. So this value is minus xi into delta xi, I is equal to 1 to n, and plus this value is yi into delta xi, I is equal to 1 to n, equal to, but what is my xi? Xi is minus 1 plus I. So summation I is equal to 1 to n. Due to this minus sign, we have 1 minus I divided by n into delta xi plus summation of yi, I is equal to 1 to n, I divided by n into delta yi, here delta yi. Okay, so this gives us two values, yi and xi, summation depending on xi and yi. This is equal to, you can see that summation of delta xi, first I is equal to 1 to n minus summation of I divided by n into delta xi, I is equal to 1 to n plus summation of again I divided by n into what is the delta I? Delta yi. One more step, but what is the summation of delta xi? Delta xi is 0 minus, that is the length is 1, 1 minus summation of I is equal to 1 to n, I divided by n square, delta xi is equal to delta xi, where is delta xi? Delta xi is equal to 1, delta y is equal to 1 by n, and plus summation of I divided by n square, I is equal to 1 to n. We have substituted delta xi equal to delta y is equal to 1 by n. Here these are the values which we have taken. But look at this, this is a negative and this is positive, same value and get cancel, and we have SPF is equal to 1 constant value, and for this constant value limit of this SPF mu of p tends to 0 is equal to 1. As mu of p tends to 0 is equal to 1, we have this integration minus 1 to n mod of x into dx is equal to 1.